Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. In the last part, we got through about half of Popstar, and we freed our friends Waddle Dee and Adeline from the possession by this dark cloud energy thing that keeps going after these crystals that our new friend Ribbon has been chasing down as well. So in this episode, let's go back to Popstar and enter the third level here. Looks like a castle. A castle. Now, there's a missile there that we could go and see, but first we want to go to the left here and grab a star. Now this missile actually contains the bomb power-up. So if we were to combine our spark and this bomb here, you can throw things directly above your head by pressing up and B, I think. Or maybe it's just up, I don't remember. I know you can throw the thing straight up in the air, I just can't remember the button combination off the top of my head. There we are. It's R. R is the button to throw things straight up in the air. So we'll go ahead and inhale this missile here to gain the bomb power-up. Again, one of my favorite power-ups in this game. We'll go ahead and combine it with this fire power-up here. Fire and bomb creates Firework Kirby, which enables us to fire off 3 fireworks in quick succession, each of which increases in diameter. Starts out with just a small firework around Kirby, and then the second one is a bit bigger, and then the third one is big enough to swallow most of the screen. Or at least most of the immediate area around Kirby. It looks like we found ourselves in quite a grand-looking castle here. I wonder whose castle this could be. Well, who's king of Popstar? Do we know? Doesn't seem to be many people home aside from just the same enemies that we've been facing up until now. Some Bronto Berts, Sir Kibble, a few others. There'll be Bronto Berts swooping in from the background there, but they aren't much of a threat. Now, you don't want to get caught between these two platforms here, because this game does have quite a lot of opportunities for Kirby to get crushed in between moving platforms and things, which will mean instant death. So you want to try to avoid that if you can. Go ahead and jump up this tower here, and up on top of the tower. Well, not on the top of the tower, we're on the battlements. There's a Max and Tomato over here to the left. And it looks like, if it looks like you can go to the left, you usually want to go to the left, simply because there's usually a power-up hidden there. Looks like that somebody raised the gate now, so that we can cross over to the other side of the battlements here. And our firework power-up provides us by helps us out by clearing out almost all of the enemies here. Let me try going over to the right here and see if there's anything here. Ah, sandwich. Let's go ahead and jump down in the hole. Ah, I knew that there was one of these areas coming up soon. It looks like we have here a place that we can't get through without the cutter power-up. Let's go ahead and try to get back out of the hole. Discard our firework power-up and gain the cutter power-up. Now, in all honesty, I think the cutter power-up is probably at worst in this game out of any iteration in any Kirby game. Mainly because, unlike most Kirby games, this cutter power-up means you can only use it once, and only one of them can be on screen. I mean, that's what I meant by you can only use it once. Only one cutter can be on screen at a time. It moves quite slowly, and Kirby himself is very, very slowed down when you use it. Let's go ahead and combine our 2 cutters, which will provide us double cutter, which moves even slower, but it does cut into the platform, which is what we needed to do. Go ahead and jump down here and open this. There we are. There's a crystal. Kirby can move while he's using cutter, but he can only jump once. He can't hover. And he's completely vulnerable during that time. And hello, Adeline. Ah, see, this is what she'll be doing for us. She'll be painting pictures, sometimes giving us items, sometimes allowing us to progress in a level. In this case, she's given us a 1-up. Thank you very much, Adeline. We'll go ahead and jump up here to the left. Remember what I said, if it looks like you can go to the left, you want to go to the left. There's another crystal here. Very easy to miss crystal. There'll be 3 crystals throughout each level. Sometimes they'll be easier to miss than others. Let me go ahead and discard our cutter power-up there. These guards here give us the needle power-up, which is a bit more useful than the cutter, even though it does make you immobile. Just continue to ascend the spiral staircase here up towards the top of the tower here in the castle. Ignoring Sir Kibble. Yes, because in later Kirby games that would be made after this one, it seems like they realized how useless they made Cutter in this game by fixing it so that we were able to fire multiple cutters at once, or they moved much faster, or different things like that. So go ahead and combine Fire and Needle here, which will create Bow Kirby. Again, not a very useful power. Unfortunately, most fire combinations, though destructive and damaging, aren't useful because they either damage Kirby or they make you immobile during the usage. So we'll go ahead and discard this one. We don't need it. Go ahead and climb this chain here, take us up to the top of the tower. And up here at the very top of the castle is our old friend King DeDeDe. Looks like he's been looking out over his kingdom and he's found a crystal of his own. But since he doesn't like Kirby, he's not going to let us have it. But of course, the dark matter has its own objective in this matter. It's the first time we've actually seen what a possession will do to somebody. In this case, it makes DeDeDe even more nasty than he usually is. Now, you notice I don't have a power, so that means that this fight is going to be a little bit more on the tricky side. DeDeDe has several attacks. He has his hammer. He can inhale you just as Kirby can use his inhale. Sort of similar, if you've played against King DeDeDe in Super Smash Bros., you know something of what his abilities are. They're very similar to Kirby's, only he's obviously much bigger and much bulkier. And he's also packs a bit more of a punch with his attacks. There. Are you finished, King? Nope, it looks like the dark matter, since King DeDeDe is very disgruntled, if he's not quite evil, dark matter's taken full-on possession of him. And it has an eye poking out of his stomach now, along with a pair of jaws if we show him off. Look at that. How creepy is that? Thankfully, though, he's not much tougher now than he was before. And by defeating him, we get our third crystal in this area. Very nice. Of course, Waddle Dee is one of the king's loyal servants, so he helps the king upright while we go and search for more crystals. But DeDeDe doesn't want to come with us. He's too stubborn and prideful. Oh, what the heck. He might as well come along. He doesn't want any more of his servants to get possessed by the dark matter like he was. Let me see. Well, that battle took a little bit out of Kirby, so let's go ahead and aim for this Maxim Tomato over here. The key is that the farther back Kirby has swung his little arms, the farther he'll jump forward. Okay, it looks like we have Wispy Woods, our old friend here, as long as only one crystal shard. I wonder what that skull means. Well, let's find out. The skull means that this is a boss fight. Each world that we go to has a dedicated boss fight at the end. And each one will have only one crystal shard present in it. But it will be somewhat of a difficult fight since, well, the whole stage is basically a boss as opposed to DeDeDe, Adeline, and Waddle Dee, who were just end-of-stage bosses. Now that we've destroyed all of the smaller trees, Wispy Woods gets quite angry, and he causes a lot of apples to fall on the path before sending his roots out to try and stab us. Of course, we can just hit them with apples and cause damage. Yes, this boss, he isn't much harder than he is in most other Kirby games. Unfortunately, they didn't give him much of a buff, considering this is Kirby's big jump into 3D. But if you get two or more things inhaled at once, it creates a larger attack star that when you exhale it, it causes more damage and it will actually go through enemies instead of just hitting them and exploding. So go ahead and clear out more of Wispy Wood's roots. He's quite a stubborn boss for being the very first one. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he can take quite a few hits, which makes his battle a little annoying, if not necessarily threatening. 2 more hits should do it, I think, unless we manage to get a hold of one of another double star. No, I guess not. There we are. Just 1 more hit on the do. Wispy Woods is put down, and we can grab another crystal. A much larger crystal this time. And of course, Kirby does his little dance. And it looks like, now that we've collected all of the crystals that fell here on Popstar, the crystal's opening a portal to a whole nother planet, where more crystals have fallen. And Kirby and his friends agree to follow Ribbon there and find more crystals. Off we go to our next destination, Rockstar, which we will be going to in the next episode of Let's Play Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great night.